It has been a long and lonely 2.5 years for Bryan Kohberger. Locked away in a maximum security jail cell, segregated from the other prisoners, thousands of miles away from his parents in Pennsylvania. They can't exactly pop in for moral support when the mood strikes. But their moods may just be a little brighter tonight after a ruling from Kohberger's trial judge in Boise. Our Brian Entin was there and jumped on a plane to come back. He's fresh off the plane in New York. I'm so glad I caught you. You're at the airport. What did you learn in that hearing?
Yeah, sorry if I look a little greasy, Ashley. It's been a long day of flying. But basically, these rulings came down today. We've been waiting to find out if Bryan Kohberger's parents and sisters were going to be allowed inside the courtroom during the 3-month trial. And the judge decided today that, yes, they are going to allow them to be there. The prosecution was concerned because they are expected to be witnesses at some point during the trial. But the judge decided it was Bryan Kohberger's constitutional right to have his family there, to have his sisters there if they want to come, and that they could be there throughout the entire trial, Ashley.
That's going to be super awkward if you think about it, right? Because you've got a courtroom is always bifurcated. Usually behind the prosecutors are all the victims' supporters, family members, et cetera. And then behind the defense, obviously, are the friends of the defendant. But I don't know anybody who has spoken out in his favor. I don't know anybody other than very odd people online who just think what they think. But that would be it. That'd be just the family facing down families of 4 kids on the other side.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about the trial. I mean, I don't know if the Kohberger family is going to come right in through the front of the courthouse, and the families of the victims maybe will be escorted in through like a side or back entrance. But yeah, it's going to be logistically, I think, sort of an interesting 3 months. And also just to see what they're there to testify about. We don't know totally for sure. I have some theories. I mean, you remember the prosecution has said that Kohberger bought the knife off of Amazon. Was it a family Amazon account? Do they need to bring up the parents to say, hey, are you the ones who ordered the knife? I think that could be one possibility.
Yeah, and I should explain that what's key here in this ruling is that when you're a witness in a trial, you can't sit in the courtroom and listen to the whole trial and then, you know, have your testimony affected by all the other people you've heard testify. So that's why this is such a big deal, that the family members are likely to be witnesses, but they are also family. So it's the same goes for the victims and those family members. If they're going to be witnesses, they also want to be able to be in that courtroom, you know, to be there for their loved one who's not there. So it's just always a very tense and tender kind of decision that has to be made. Can you just briefly tell me about the closed-door hearing on Monday? We were all playing parlor games trying to figure out what it was about, and I think we know now.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation. People thought that it was a plea deal, which we knew it wasn't happening because it was just a remote hearing. It turns out it was the prosecution asking to have their own mental health evaluation done on Bryan Kohberger. Remember, the defense has had experts talk about his mental health and the conditions he has, but now the judge has agreed that the prosecution can do that. So there's going to be another mental health evaluation. They said the lawyers can't be there for it, but they can watch by video. When that's going to happen, we don't know at this point.
You're based on the East Coast. I'm just loving the vibe of seeing the airport behind you, but this is going to be a lot of cross-country travel for you because you're going to be taking this flight, if not others, from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. Bryan, thank you for this and get a really good sleep tonight. It's been a long journey for you today.
Yeah, thanks, Ash.
And I recommend the Uber or the Lyft because the taxi line is always really long at that airport. Bryan, I just love that he's willing to do this. Like in the middle of this long travel day, just stop down, do a live shot for the Banfield Show.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.